Hey, Johnny Mosley here for Peter Glenn Ski and Sports, hanging out with Mark Cudeletta, the National Sales Manager for Hestra Gloves. And we've just had an amazing conversation about the history of Hestra Gloves, and you can fill me in a little bit more, but I'll just say that my first impression is when I started shopping for gloves for my kids when they were young, I'd go in the store and I'd look around, and I'm very particular about my gloves, and I was looking for gloves that were made like my gloves. And literally the Hestras were the only ones that had the qualities that I liked. And so explain sort of the whole Hestra philosophy and where that comes from.
Well, thanks, Johnny. You know, the great thing about Hestra is they do one thing and one thing only. They make gloves.
Yeah.
They have been for 8 decades, and for 8 decades longer, that's all they're gonna do. We own all of our factories. We're still in the same place where Martin Magnuson first founded the company in 1936 in Hestra. It's not really a town, it's more like a village. There's only about 1,800 people there.
Wow.
But the quality and the thought and the effort that goes into our product is timeless.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves in making literally the best gloves that we could possibly make. This is not a fashion company. This is a function company. So every glove that you see behind me has a skier or a snowboarder, a temperature, a climate, a weather condition, and an activity all thought out before it's even created. Put a lot of thought and effort for all these SKUs behind us.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I didn't know really anything about the history of the company. I just experienced it through retail. And I've always been amazed at the quality. I mean, some of these gloves that I've used and I've bought for my kids, I've gone through multiple seasons with my kids and my nephews, and it's just like, you're like, wow, this quality is so good. They always put the band on. One thing I want to show you, what do we even call that wrist retractor thing?
It's a Heli handcuff.
It's incredible.
Sometimes I get more kudos about that $5 accessory than I do about our gloves sometimes.
It's incredible. Oh, and that's one thing I noticed too. You made it detachable so you could actually transfer between gloves. It's incredible. But I was talking to Mark earlier, and he pulled out this little chart. Anyway, it shows that how the part is put together, right? You put on a pair of gloves and you think, oh, it's just, you know, some leather and whatever else, but this is tell me about what I'm holding here.
So what you're looking at here, Johnny, this is our most iconic glove. It's our Heli glove, what we're most known for. Been on top of Mount Everest 15 times that I personally know of, rated a -25. The most common question that sales associates at Peter Glenn get is, what's your warmest glove or mitten? 10 out of 10 times the sales associate's going to take them to the Heli, because you sell them a pair of Helis, they're not going to be disappointed. What this shows is there's 109 different parts that goes into making one pair of Helis, and it takes us an hour and a half just to make one pair.
Wow.
To your point about the kids' gloves, we don't skimp on the kids. The kids' gloves has 109 parts. Might not take us an hour and a half because they're a little bit smaller, less material, but the same thought and effort in our adult gloves goes into those kids' gloves.
It's incredible. I'm a big fan of this company and what they do for gloves. All kinds of different styles, and it's not just function. The style, it's cool. It's cool looking, and I look around your room here, and there's so many different types of styles, and they're all incredibly stylish and fashionable. And tell me about, a little bit about Cody and Elise. Cody Townsend's now climbing on top of, trying to do the 50 different summits.
50 project.
What is he running?
His favorite glove is actually my favorite. We realized this when he was out in our offices over the summer. It's our felt guide glove.
Oh, okay.
I can't say what I call it on camera because I'm so proud of this glove that it's my go anywhere, do anything glove. I've skied in Telluride in 2-degree weather. I've changed a blown out truck tire on I-70 during a snowstorm. I've gone to football games, and I own 32 pairs of Hestra gloves personally. If I was only allowed one pair, it would be that felt guide glove.
Cool.
It's bad. So Cody and Elise, I can't say enough great things. Great people, great ambassadors for the brand, obviously superb athletes, really dynamic, and not just, hucking big lines, but just really doing a lot of things like Cody's 50 project. I mean, he came to our office and gave our 75 best local clients a sneak peek of it. It's about a 45-minute shot, and just the stuff him and Jeremy were doing just blows me away. Then you got Elise doing so much for, on the safety and the Avi side. Sure. Huge ripper, unbelievable ripper and stuff. So I just wish that they would have some offspring so we'd have the next generation of Towson.
Come on, Elise.
Sorry, bud.
After you get some with a 50 project, you know you got to do that before you start having some offspring. And so check it out, the 50 project, Hestra gloves, Cody Townsend, and really it is a product that you will buy once and have for a very long time, which they don't mind. They don't mind. It's part of they're into it.
We're so behind the product that we make, and we know the price point's not for everybody, but we offer a lifetime manufacturer's warranty.
Oh, really?
God forbid we make a mistake and a seam blows or a stitch pops or something happens with the liner that was our fault. We'll repair the glove, or we'll replace it, no charge. So we want to stand behind all of our product as well.
Yeah, great. And mittens too, lobster claw. I mean, they got it all. All right, Mark with Hestra Gloves, thanks for taking some time. We're going to talk about the specific gloves that Peter Glenn is selling. Just sort of type that in, and we have tons of reviews on that as well. All right, Johnny Mosley for Peter Glenn Ski and Sports. Check it out at peterglenn.com. Cheers.